From the United States, Canada, and Japan, they came. The world's premier designers and their finest robotic warriors traveled to do battle in the first annual robot tournament. But what began as a game suddenly took a terrifying twist. On the eve of the Grand Championship, the sponsor of the event announced that the entire tournament was just an elaborate scheme to get his hands on the world's most powerful robots. Now, faced with an army of metallic mercenaries, Mega Man must fight a ferocious new foe, the mysterious Mr. X. This is Mega Man 6 from Capcom and Nintendo, released in 1994, also known as Rockman 6. Oh, not even gonna try. Translates to the greatest battle ever. It is the 6th installment of the original Mega Man series and was originally released in Japan, October of 1993, in North America the following March. It was included in the Mega Man Anniversary Collection in 2004, and it's the first PAL region release. Didn't happen until 2013 on the 3DS Virtual Console, nearly 20 years after the game's first release. The story of Mega Man X6 is pretty ho-hum. Game opens up, competitive robot fighting tournament. The villainous figure known as Mr. X announces he has reprogrammed the 8 powerful contestants with the intent to use them for taking over the world. The game's robotic protagonist, Mega Man, who is sent to oversee the tournament, springs into action to foil X's plot. Standard action platformer Mega Man X plays nearly identical to its 5 predecessors with a few added features, such as stages with alternate pathways and the new Rush adapters. Mega Man 6 is the first game in the series to receive character design input from fans outside of Japan. This late-era game is also the last in the series released for the 8-bit NES. Due to declining support of the NES and the growing presence of the newer, more powerful SNES, Capcom decided not to publish Mega Man 6 in North America. The North American version of Mega Man 6 was released by Nintendo of America instead. Critical reviews favored the game's comparable presentation and use of the established gameplay model from the preceding chapters, though nearly all judged it as a redundant sequel. While the first 5 Mega Man games are available on the Virtual Console, this game is absent from the Wii Shop. However, the game was released via 3DS in Japan and Europe and North America in 2013. The game takes place right after Mega Man 5, pretty much. Yeah. And if you hadn't figured it out, Mr. X is just a farce. He's not real. He's a Dr. Wily in disguise. Plays very similar to the other games in the series. We can still charge our shot. We can slide. The levels, as per usual, can be taken in any order. 4 of the stages, though, will have a separate route players must take, usually more challenging to access, to go fight the boss, which will allow you to collect the parts to get your Beat adapter set up, so you can call on Beat, who will, in this game, actually act as a weapon and attack some of the enemies. Beat making some of the bosses much easier in the later levels. Rush works a little differently. Instead of calling on Rush to have him become a jet or a coil or a submarine or a easy bake oven or a lawnmower, whatever you might need him to do, because I'm sure you can do that, Rush actually comes in as armor adapters this time for Mega Man. We have a jet adapter, which allows us to hover briefly, but we lose the ability to slide. And we have Power Mega Man, which is just a beefier version of Mega Man. We can charge up and do a short-range, powerful shot capable of destroying blocks. However, you cannot slide while wearing that either. Mega Man 6 was developed at the same time as Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo. The series artist, credited as Infa King, which is Kaiji Inafune, stated that having a video game franchise with 6 titles is very rare. I wonder what he thinks now that there are 10. And one of the advantages to this is that players expect certain aspects of each game to be repeated in the next. After having implemented so many different mechanics to the gameplay of past entries, Inafune thought that rush adapter assembly was inevitable. The artist struggled with the adapter designs and ultimately found them to be unrealistic. According to Inafune, if you think about it, they shouldn't be able to combine like this. It would be awkward if parts of Rush like his neck were left over after they combined. So what was I supposed to do? Robot Masters, featured in some of the previous Mega Man games, were the result of design contests held in Japan in which fans of the series would submit their character ideas to Capcom. Keeping with tradition, Japan held a design contest for Mega Man 6. After the release of 5, the magazine Nintendo Power held a similar contest in North America. Only 8 out of more than 200,000 worldwide character submissions were accepted for the game. 6 of the Robot Masters were designed by Japanese fans, while the remaining 2, Nightman and Windman, were designed by North American fans who entered the Nintendo Power contest. The North American cover of the game pays homage to the 2 designers by featuring their Robot Masters on it. Inafune admitted that it was stressful when the last characters being designed for the game were not meeting with the development team's schedule. He concluded, "For having hit a lot of roadblocks, I feel like we got a lot done for 6. The theme for our designs was, 'The world is our stage,' and I really enjoyed bringing what I felt was the unique flavor of different countries into the game." The music composition by Yuko Takahara. He collaborated with several other composers for the follow-up, Mega Man 7, in 1995. It was the last title, obviously, to be released for the 8-bit. A few months after the publication of 5, Capcom announced the 6th installment in the original, as well as Mega Man Soccer and Mega Man X. Capcom chose not to publish the game outside of Japan. Instead, Nintendo of America did that. Such a late release on the aging NES ensured its relative commercial obscurity among concurrent releases. Before the NES era in North America was about to end, Nintendo of America made a plan to help sell along with Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2, and the NES version of Wario Woods. They were also published by Nintendo in North America during the same time. Their plan was to release the top-loading NES 101 for a retail price of $50 to attract consumers to buying the updated version of the original NES, along with one or more of the new titles for the console, including Mega Man 6. The game was also showcased along Mega Man X at the 1994 Winter Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. 6 was re-released for the PlayStation in 1999 as part of the Rockman Complete Works series exclusive to Japan. This version of the game features a number of extras, including remixed music, artwork galleries, and a Navi mode to help guide players. A port of the Complete Works edition was released on the North American exclusive Mega Man Anniversary Collection for the PS2 and GameCube in 2004 and Xbox in 2005. 6 has enjoyed a favorable to mixed reception from gaming publications and websites. Graphics, play control, challenge level, and added power-ups were generally praised. GamePro is impressed with some of the newer enemies and larger mid-stage bosses, but also displeased with the game's recycling of master weapons seen in previous Mega Man games. Overall, the magazine described the graphics, audio, and level design in 6 as standard fare for the franchise and called the game a rock of reliable NES fun, in a series that is as predictable as the tide. Destructoid editor Tony Ponce considered Mega Man X6 the best game in the entire series. He argued that the game was retro before retro was cool. Due to Capcom's decision to develop it at a higher profile on the NES during the era of 4th generation consoles, he also expressed appreciation for its music, introductions for each Robot Master, and the use of branching pathways in each level, among many other reasons. Nintendo Power listed it as the best game of 1993, stating his 6th NES adventure, in which he uses 2 new special power-ups, might just be his best. Screw Attack appreciated these innovations and regretted missing out on the game when it first came out. Mega Man 6 is listed by IGN as the 58th best game on the NES, and the writers surmised Mega Man X6 is considered to be, by many, to be the last worthwhile NES game released in the catalog. That's not saying much when looking at the title's contemporaries. Mega Man 6 is still as good as it gets in many respects. I liked it. I think this is one of the most underappreciated and overlooked games in the series. I don't like that they did the whole 2 castle thing again at the end of the game. But it's pretty solid. Some of the things they brought into it to try out, like the adapter for Rush, that kind of ended up working because it came back in 7. Just a solid Mega Man game. I mean, what do you want?